And sir, you would be surprised the number of aircraft orders we have that are coming in are more than 1,500 right now. And I keep talking to these airlines, and they're every month they keep saying, sir, we have ordered 50 more, we have ordered 100 more, because they see the potential that India has today and how we have to grow forward also. So as we bring in these new planes into the market, we would be needing more pilots also. On some situations, one aircraft would require, with all the FDTL limitations that they have, all the operational requirements they have, they would need up to 20 pilots. So imagine how many pilots our country would be needing as we move forward with all this fleet coming into the country also. And now we thought, let's talk to them. Let us see what their challenges are, how the whole pilot training industry is working today. And one important thing that they've mentioned is that while they go for this CPL, commercial pilot license training and all, one challenge that they face, they have to go through this radiography, the radio telephony certificate, the RTR certificate, which is called technically. This is something which they have to obtain, and flight radio telephony operator license. These are two things that they have to obtain, and for that, they have to go to Department of Telecom. This was how it was designed, because they had the equipment, they had the little know-how and technical expertise. So they had divided this stuff. They said, why don't you get this license from Department of Telecom? Once that comes from there, then the DGCA, which is with the civil aviation, then it thoroughly verifies that. And once we do the cross-verification and the CPL license also, then we grant the pilot the license. But we have seen that when we do this dual thing of going to that department and obtaining a license and our department doing a certain verification, there was a lot of delay happening. There was a lot of inconvenience for the pilots. And we know sometimes the systems kind of misuse this power when they have the additional authority to come in between on how it can lead to certain other challenges for the pilots also. And now we have a lot of young population who wants to aspire, dream to become a pilot, and we don't want them to see these kind of challenges happening in the system. So what we have thought is, we have so much expertise right now with DGCA, why don't we do the RTR license and certificates within our system itself? So that is the biggest change we have brought in here, where we are not avoiding the DOT right now, and we have the expertise, and we are bringing everything under our wing, under our civil aviation, under our DGCA, and we are letting the pilots not go through the inconvenient process of going through two different departments for obtaining their pilot license. And other than that, sir, we have brought in the appeal system. Like I've said, we have amended the Act 21 times. And while we have done that, sometimes we have missed putting whatever rules. Sir, civil aviation, the international civil aviation organizations keep recommending us so many things time and again, because it has an international view to this. Sky is not limited to one country. We travel from one country to the other country. So everything has to be harmonized. Let it be if we are flying here in India, if we are flying in New Zealand, if we are flying in America or any other region or any other continent, everything has to be harmonized so that there is a smooth travel between the countries happening. So as and when anything happens anywhere in the world, this ICAO picks it up, and it kind of recommends to all countries that why don't you have a uniform harmonization among the laws in this thing. So it keeps doing it all the time. It meets every year, multiple times on multiple subjects. And once they reach a consensus in Montreal, where the headquarters is there, and it keeps sending the recommendations to all the countries. And as we keep doing it, and it is important for us also to follow the ICAO recommendations. And whenever we keep doing it, not many a times we can bring everything, all the changes to the parliament and say, let us amend the Principal Act itself. So many times what we do, the rules which are framed under the Principal Act, we try to keep changing them. And now constantly after doing that time and again, the ICAO also observed that there is no principal legislation backing to the rules that we have today. So it is very, very important for us to have the principal rules, the backing in the principal legislation itself, so that whenever we make the rules, then when we can say where is the legal sanctity, we can point it out specifically in the Act itself. So that process we have adhered to this time. So whatever rules we are making, we thoroughly understand that the rules are originating from so-and-so clause or so-and-so section in the Principal Act itself. And some problems that we have faced earlier was, there was no appeal system also. Whenever the civil aviation, the central government or one of our bodies does any of these administrative orders or actions that are taken by the department itself, it doesn't have the principal backing. We are doing it by rules, which is not legally correct also. So right now we have put an appeal system which follows the principle of natural justice in the act itself. So that is a strong legal backing that we are giving. And now anyone who faces any administrative order or any other financial economic order that comes from the ministry itself, he can go through the process of appealing. Why did it come against me? So the principle of natural justice is being followed here, sir. And on top of that, there are some other provisions also in the appeal system. And also there was, when we are trying to have any problem with the pilot or the license, earlier the system was only you can cancel the license. But now we observed not every time you can cancel the license. Sometimes you might need to restrict it. Sometimes you might want to cancel it. So these kind of systems, what we observed, small flaws that were existing in the industry, we tried to pick them up and include it in the act itself. And these are some of the changes that we brought in. And I'm willing to listen to, I'll talk about the other issues once I get all the suggestions and comments from the honorable members, sir. And I'm willing to answer to each and every clarification that I need to give from this. But I request this support and also the cooperation of all the members here. This is a very important legislation that we are doing, because we realize that civil aviation, which is the third biggest domestic sector in the whole world, sir, considering the population, US maybe it's around 35 crores today, and it is the #1 domestic market. And look at our population. And we want more people to travel through air here, which is becoming a reality also under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji. He has brought in the Udan scheme, and everyone should know about this Udan scheme. You would all wonder that we have created. See, creating airports is one challenge. You can spend the capex and you can create an airport. But today with the private airlines, for them to run those routes, it's another bigger challenge. But our Prime Minister, he is a man with a vision, and it's a man on a mission, sir. And he has launched in 2017 the Udan scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, which was very, very specific to connect these underserved and unserved airports of the country. He didn't want them to lie vacant or lie dormant. He thought of a brilliant scheme where we were giving a small VGF funding, and we called in the airlines. We said, these are the real India that we want to connect. And wherever these airports were there, the new airports which were built in many of the unconnected areas, which were unconnected through air travel, where we have built them, we have said